Hello, all, and welcome to Middle Age Geeks. I'm one of your host, Phil. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Daz. Daz, how are you? What's the crack?
All good, man. Enjoying the sunshine, and we're recording late this time, and just finished watching our movie, and that mix of being absolutely knackered and frazzled from this crazy movie experience, which we'll get into. Yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, feeling good. How about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Some watched some cool stuff this week. Some played some new games, and yeah,
Hmm.
get into this week's movie. So, as Daz says, the review this week is going to be Havoc, which is a Netflix movie. We were planning on doing The Surfer, but just couldn't work it into our
Mm.
schedules. So yeah, as always, we're just a quick reminder: we're a movie review podcast, but we'll do a little bit around what's going on in the news and what we've been playing and watching at the moment, and see you might pick up a little bit of something for yourself. So why don't we kick off our first section, Daz, with a bit of news? Was there anything jumping out at you today?
Well, this week especially was obviously the Superman trailer came out, and we did a reaction on YouTube for that. But then following on from that, it's getting great. The feedback is fantastic on it. Some reports are saying that it's tracking so far to make like maybe 150 to 175 million opening weekend in the US box office, which is probably a bit more than it actually will, given post COVID and the kind of big numbers in terms of superhero movies and stuff like that. But that trailer was astounding. And then another thing was Tom Cruise came out, and he's obviously doing the press junkets for Mission Impossible, a new movie, coming out and saying he's currently working on Top Gun 3, and everyone was like, "Yahoo, let's go!"
Yeah.
But also he he followed that up saying he's also working on a Days of Thunder sequel, and just everyone's like, "Whoa, what?"
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, like it did take him 35 years to figure out the Top Gun sequel, and he openly says that. But he says he's always shooting, he's always shooting something, he's always working on films, he's always trying to make numerous films work and get projects off the ground and all that. But Top Gun Maverick obviously made 1.5 billion or thereabouts,
So good. So
which is
fun.
fucking great. So like, yeah, that's going to happen. But like Tom Cruise is, I think, 63 in July, which is kind of like 33 to a regular human. But he's got some mileage left. But who really wants or who's asking for a Days of Thunder sequel? I'm not quite sure, and whether that's just him talking about it. Like, there's obviously millions of things that he's always working on, and he was talking about Top Gun 3 for 15 years. So if Days of Thunder comes around, I don't know. Is that just
Yeah, who
because the new
knows?
F1
Yeah.
movie's coming out and stuff like that? But
Well, that's what I
everyone
was
wants, yeah,
thinking when you mentioned it. I was thinking that, yeah, like, would he be? What, this time he's the coach, or this time he's whatever, and but that's
yeah,
a very similar plot to, obviously he's not blowing
Top
shit
Gun.
up,
Yeah,
but very similar plot to
yeah.
Top Gun, where he's going in as like the trainer or whatever. So I don't know.
Is it the same
Um,
type of movie again, just
yeah,
with in cars? Get us a fucking Tropic Thunder spin off and get us that Les Grossman fucking movie. That's what everyone wants. Fuck David Thunder.
I'd love that. Yeah, I rewatched that recently. Tropic Thunder, man, such a great
It's
movie.
just it's so
No
good.
way that it
Yeah.
get
No,
made today.
no,
Not a
way
hope.
before its time and of its
Yeah.
time. Yeah, and then the last bit of news is Zack Schneider, friend of the show, won't let Rebel Moon go. Multiple reports all over the shop. Saying from people saying that, like, you were telling me earlier on that it's been officially cancelled and it's in the dust, and then 2 minutes later there's the his co-writer coming on line and saying, like, oh, we have parts 3, 4, 5 and 6. It's just not just part 3, just like he's got all 4 parts ready to go, and they're just waiting for the right streaming deal to come around. Just like, I don't think Netflix are coming around again. Like, I think Zack Schneider lives in a crazy world in his head that's boxed off, because it's like is he oblivious to the colossal and epic failure those movies were,
Bizarre.
and the director's cuts of them? So 4 movies failed. It's bizarre, but I love that it's still a kind of a story and it's still ongoing. And if somebody makes it for him, I'll watch him because it's
Yeah, like, I'll end up
yeah.
watching them. Like, I'll never watch the first two again.
No,
They're gone. But I will. I
watch
will
another
probably
one.
watch another one, just because. Why the fuck not, man?
I just want to see how mad this guy can get. But yeah, I just love the fact that Rebel Moon stories are still in our thread. How about yourself?
Yeah, a few things. Obviously, we'd mentioned trailers. You know, the Spider-Man Noir trailer, and Nobody 2 came out with a trailer as well. It looks
Mm-hmm.
fucking fantastic. Um, it's basically them. It's basically the first one, but on on holiday. But it looks good. Kristen Ritter being confirmed as Jessica Jones for season
Mm.
2 of Daredevil, Born Again, which is great. I loved that character. I thought she did a great job.
Yeah.
It's so her. Um, Alien Earth, we got a bit of news. We got a release date, which is the August 12th, 8 episodes. And we got some
Super.
few little shots of it. Looking forward to that one, really. Like, I'm so interested to see where it goes. You know, these fucking additional monsters that we're talking about, or additional aliens.
Mm.
The last thing I wanted to mention was just, we had said a couple of weeks ago about Alison Brie and Dave Franco doing a movie called Together, which was a kind of a horror, sounds a bit like a buddy horror.
Yeah.
But they're getting sued because apparently there's this other team made a movie called Better Half, and it was, I think, released in 2023, I think, as like an indie film. But it was pitched to Dave Franco's agent or whatever, to be pitched to him, and they apparently, according to the suit, they just shot it down. They're like, nah, not interested.
Oh,
So
wow.
they weren't going to make it, and then they're saying that this movie is on beat for beat what they had written. There's even a use of a song that was part of the Better Half one that they had mentioned. So it'd be really interesting to see how much of it is true. Like, did they completely rip it off or what? Of course they're denying it, but it'd be interesting when it all comes out to see how much similarities, because sometimes you hear about these and you're going, Jesus, you're right, that is very close. Sometimes it's just someone fucking chancing their arm.
But like you do hear that a lot, and I've had friends before who've, you know, submitted a script to somewhere and, you know, it doesn't get made or whatever, and you get your rejection letter, or sometimes you get nothing at all. And then you'll see something in a movie and, like, you know, 12 months later, and it's like, no, that's kind of like my scene or whatever, but what the fuck are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at least these guys have the balls to kind of actually sue them. And, yeah, hopefully it works out. But I'd say that happens a lot more than you,
Oh yeah,
you know, like,
yeah, 100%. Sure, it happens. Music, it happens everywhere. Entertainment business. But no, that's it with me with regards to news. So look, let's move on then to what we've been playing and watching then. So Daz, what about you this week? Have you been getting into anything new?
Oh, I was really hoping to get into Doom: The Dark Ages, but it just didn't happen. I've had it downloaded since Thursday, so 3 days, just haven't had a fucking chance to play it, which is annoying. But I'm still, and that's mainly because I'm still playing Expedition 33 and just trying to finish that game so I can play more games, because it's just fucking astounding. Yeah, it's just it just gets better and better, that game, minute by minute. So yeah, but watching wise, it's The Last of Us for me, and we kind of chatted a little bit about this, just texting about latest episode. You know, we're not going to get into any spoiler or anything like that, but the stuff online, it kind of just leads into that, where you're watching an episode and it's kind of like the game. You know, you remember the game a little bit different than what's in the show, but I'm totally okay with it just being a little bit different. Ellie's a little bit different, but then you just read reviews and it's all the reviews are centered around, this is not what Ellie did in the game. This is not how she acted in the game. It's I don't understand.
So much of it's directed toward Bella Ramsey. Like, you don't see any of the male actors getting any shit, or even Isabella Merced getting any shit
as well.
Yeah, but it really is she's getting so much shit. And it started off that because she doesn't look like her. And then everybody started calling them perverts. And then they pivoted to just saying that, oh, well, she's just a terrible actor. She's just a really, really bad actor. I was like, I don't think she's a terrible actor at all.
The fact that they're kind of going, oh, look at her. She's, you know, the main thing they're saying with this week's episode is that in the game, you know, after that certain thing that happens, that she changes as a very, like, an absolute pivot change in her character into anger, into hate, what the game is about. And in this, because she's having light moments with Dina and making jokes and stuff, they're just kind of going, well, that's not how Ellie acts in the game. Like, it's not believable, because she should be more angry and mourning and all this kind of stuff. But it's all, as you're saying, it's not the game, and they're just doing something a little bit different. That's totally fine. But as you're saying, it's the fact that it's directed at Bella, where if this is your issue, it should be directed at Craig Mason and fucking Neil Druckmann, who's created the whole thing. Like, It should be directed at them because it's their choice to change the character that way. It's not Bella is not kind of went, oh, I've seen the game, I'm going to play it different. It's like it's written that way for her. Nothing to do with her. Like she's her acting and whatever, that's subjective if you like it or dislike it, but her choices and all that stuff, that is the creators of the fucking show and game.
Yeah. You know, kind of good example, you messed the kind of messing around, the goofing around like that. Even that was just Isabella Merced and I think just messing. That was just them doing a bit of ad lib and joking at the scene. But
it works.
The great Mason loved it and said, "Okay, I'm putting that in." It wasn't their decision to put it in; they were just having a bit of a laugh. And he said, "No, that it represents the way those two people are in real life, and those two characters where we want them to be."
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, that's what they want. But I don't like the amount of hate that she's getting. Like it's all memes of her face, you know, just in different fucking things. It's just completely being horrible to her, as if any of the decisions and the writing or any of the rest of it is anything to do with her. It's just it really pisses me off that it's all directed at her when she's just an actor doing what she's told to do. Like.
Yeah, and mainly because it's a lot of people, it's gamers that are saying this. People are watching the show. It's no one's kind of going, oh, she's not acting correctly for how she should be given her circumstances. And it's like, yeah, well, in a game, it's very easy to kind of go. You need to go into gameplay. And that you can fuel anger in that way or whatever, but in the show you have a bit more downtime with the characters between set pieces that you would have in the game, so it makes sense to have a bit of levity with somebody you love. Is that nothing wrong with that? But anyway, fucking nonsense. And then the other thing was that I saw, because we were trying to watch The Surfer and then another movie that was only playing in your Odeon and not playing in mine or the other ones, which is fucking weird, so we couldn't actually get to a movie. But I'd seen that I had a few hours out and about, and X-Men was playing, so I decided to go and see the first X-Men on the big screen for the first time in 25 years. And it's a really short movie, actually, 90-something minutes, and it was fucking brilliant. The movie that started it all, as we've said before, everyone kind of goes, Blade started the whole comic book movie thing, but I didn't know Blade was a comic book movie when I saw it. But yeah, watching X-Men again was a treat and held up pretty well. Some dodgy CGI here and there, but it's such a small, self-contained movie set piece, at the end with the Statue of Liberty is,
Did you enjoy Storm's line when she's talking to Toad? That ridiculous line. It's such a ridiculous.
Do you know what happens? You know what happens to people when they get struck by lightning?
Do you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? Same thing that happens to everything else.
What a cracker.
And I wouldn't mind. She comes up because she's in the lift shaft or something, and
the door's open,
Toad's knocking her down, and he's knocked her down, and he does a little spin with his fucking Darth Maul fucking style thing. You're like, oh shit, yeah, and then she gets she comes back up the lift shaft, and it's awesome. It's all electricity and everything. Oh, sweet,
what an entrance!
And then they give her that fucking line.
She could have just went, ha ha. That would have been better than that fucking line. But it's just it is amazing, a quarter of a century fucking later when you are watching this and watching fucking Charles Xavier and fucking Magneto and these fucking iconic actors playing them, and watching the basic emergence of Hugh Jackman, and it's amazing. Even at the time you're kind of going, this is amazing, but looking back watching it now, it really is like, oh my god, this was it's that caliber at that time, at that specific moment, that really jettisons the fucking comic book movies to another plane. Like it's it's really good. But some of the CG is
a bunch of them. I think I'm pretty sure next week I think it is X2 is there.
I think they're doing all of them. So you watch X2 and then you skip a few and then come back. But yeah, that was pretty much it. How about yourself? What have you been up to?
A few things. I watched so the movie The Assessment. I think it went straight to Amazon Prime. I was like, I'm going to check this out. Like it's got Yorgos Lanthimos did the he was doing the editing and stuff, and I was like, okay, this could be cool. And it's wild. Like it's God, what the fuck is his name? I can't remember the English actor's name. That's going to bug the shit out of me. But anyway, it's Elizabeth Olsen and Alicia Vikander, and it's mental, right? It's absolutely mental, and it looks great and all the rest of it. But it's just a bananas movie. Like it's it's what I found weird was that the cast is so small, right? There's 19 total acting credits given in the movie, but there's 22 producer credits.
Oh, wow.
22 producer credits, more producer credits than there is active. This isn't you might get away with that on a short or something like that. Right? But it's just absolutely wild to me that there was fucking 22. But it's fine. It's in a psychological sci-fi thriller. It's got a cool aesthetic and a good cast, but it's okay. I also watched the new season of Love, Death and Robots.
Oh yeah, is that any good? It's a season 4 now.
No, yeah, it's not great. And it started off so well. The first one is a Foo Fighters one, and it's a Foo Fighters is like puppets on strings, and it's so well done. And the audio is from Slane Castle actually, and they had they're just the whole thing is like they're animated puppets, and the audience are all animated, puppets. It looks fantastic, and it's it sounds brilliant, obviously. And then the next one was another one of those miniature movies, like the last one they had miniature vampires or whatever it was. And so it was another one. I was like, okay, cool. But then the rest of them are just, they look gorgeous, of course they do, but it was so lackluster. Such a bummer. Like, I mean, these are very talented people who are animating these things. They're just not too sold on the story.
So hit and miss though. From I watched the first season of it and I was kind of like, fucking deadly. Oh, I'm not too sure about that. That's pretty shit. And then kind of average. And it's just such a mishmash. It's like a Black Mirror when it was in the kind of middle seasons when you're just kind of going, can you commit to watching another episode if you're not quite sure? Like, is it going to be fucking fantastic or is it going to be shit?
At least for the most part, they're short. That's the only thing. Like.
Yeah, true. But
and I played Doom Dark Ages, and I won't spoil anything, but it's fucking awesome. It feels gorgeous. It's so smooth, and it's just using that shield combo thing is fucking fantastic. I've only done a few hours, but it's great. But what I did watch, right? I'd never seen this movie. Psycho 2. I don't know why, but it popped up when I was pissing around on the budgie box. I was like, I'm gonna watch it because this was made like 23 years after the original, Psycho.
Yeah.
And Anthony Perkins played Norman Bates again, right? I didn't realize two things I didn't realize. Firstly, that there's a reflection of him when they're going to kind of him when he's younger, and the younger version of him, and that's Osgood Perkins is playing him. I didn't even cop and made the connection that they were father and son.
Yeah.
I never even made that connection. But then I was like, that's mad. And then I went on, I was like, hang on a second. There was a whole thing about his missus. Like, so he was survived by his wife, Berinthia Berenson. Yeah. And she was on one of the planes that went into 9/11, that flew into the Trade Center.
Holy shit. I know that.
Yeah. So he's got such a mad fucking background, this dude. But it actually wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be. I thought they made quite a few interesting choices. It wasn't. I thought it was going to be tripe, but it actually wasn't that bad. I was surprised at that. But yeah, look, that's kind of all I've been watching, getting into this week. So without further ado, let's get on to our main section, which, as we said, is going to be Havoc, which came out a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, on Netflix. So one that's going to be available to you all. So Daz, whenever you're ready, take it away.
So yeah, thanks, man. Havoc, written and directed by Gareth Evans, starring Tom Hardy, Forrest Whitaker, Timothy Olyphant, and a number of other assorted actors I really haven't heard of. But this one is, we'll give the basic synopsis first, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty. After a drug deal gone wrong, a bruised detective must fight his way through the criminal underworld to rescue a politician's estranged son, unraveling a deep web of corruption and conspiracy that ensnares his entire city. Just like, oh, it's so fucking grand.
And also it paints him as a good guy.
What the fuck is that all about? Like that synopsis just showcases how ridiculous and overly convoluted this movie is. Like if you're new to the channel, we just go into a spoiler-free section as meaty as we can, and then we'll go through some spoiler stuff later on, which will essentially be just dissecting some of the action scenes. But first things first, what were your thoughts? And when did you see it? Did you see it today? You said you've seen this before.
No, I watched it. I watched it I watched it when it came out.
Oh wow!
So I kind of just
you've had time to think about it.
It wasn't for me. I said the Gareth Edwards. I'm like, yeah, fucking nice one. This should be good. But No, like it's for me. This this is average. Like it's got some cool choreography and
Mm-hmm.
fight choreography in it, but like so many the deaths are just pointless. There's so many of these little side stories and backstories people you don't really give a shit about, and there's so like when we talk about convenience in movies of people showing up
Mm.
and stuff, it's insane. Like there's one part where there's the nightclub, and like there's like 4 or 5 different gangs of
They
people,
all
the cops,
at
and
the
they
same
all
time.
happen to jump within a couple of minutes of each other. Like if I tried to organize
30
for like a
seconds,
bunch
yeah.
of us to go for dinner. You know what I mean? And there's fucking a handful of us. There's going to be people who are 20 minutes late, half an hour late. These fuckers are arriving at this nightclub without originally making plans to be there at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, so and so is here. Oh no, the gang is here. Now your one's gang is here. The cops have shown up. Like fucking, it's bananas, and it's just
I
like
think
the
a
writing
fight
is
scene has been
terrible.
scheduled.
The CG is woeful.
It's so bad, yeah.
It's so bad. And then what's his face? Like the everybody in the movie, everybody knows kung fu or some sort of martial arts, right? Everybody is a martial artist, and
There's a hand-to-hand
everybody
combat basis that is
and
like it's just born into people. Like,
and everybody's gun has at least 300 bullets in the magazine, right? I think I saw someone reload twice the whole movie. Like, there's just
that's one of my main notes. My main notes. I haven't seen anyone reload.
Oh, I saw
all.
Tom Hardy reload at one point. He's hiding behind
Right,
a
okay.
pillar and he changed his handgun. But he's using this handgun. And you're this is the Asian assassin girl with the lighter hair. She's got one of these guns that has the automatic fire, like full automatic. And she's holding this thing for a good 30 seconds, fucking spraying people, cars, the whole lot. I was like, this fucking magazine would be gone in a few seconds, you mad thing.
And the semi-automatic pistols, which is always when they turn up in guns, they seem to have overtaken the Uzi. The Uzi was the 80s and fucking silly things, too long the magazine. But the automatic pistols, where it's just
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah. Like their fucking magazine does last about 2 seconds, and then it's like that's why someone always has 2 or something like that.
None of this.
There was like people with automatic fucking rifles that are just spraying. You sprayed 200 bullets. Haven't reloaded. But yeah. So you weren't a fan? No,
I wasn't. No. Like I said, some really cool choreography in parts. Like as ridiculous as it is, this doesn't have any of the fun of John Wick. Like they've got a lot of the kind of action scenes and stuff, but it doesn't have any of the fun, any of the world building. And I was getting seasick for the amount of fucking shaky camera nonsense going on. Yeah. But yeah, and the blood looks shocking as well. Even like it's just
too much, right? It's like John Wick is the perfect comparison. Where this is overly convoluted story wise. Its script is really poor because it's obviously there just to get you to these action set pieces, and in the same way, there's so many parallels with John Wick. John Wick, like story is very simple, not overly complicated, very simple. Silly story gets you to these things, but it works. It's got that magic sauce. It's got Keanu Reeves in it. It's got people that know exactly what they're trying to make, and they don't trying to elevate it into the upper echelon of fucking script and story. And just like if you're not there for this, like, oh my god, there's these interweaving narrative plots and stuff, and just like I don't fucking care. I don't care. Like I will not care. I cannot care about this. Like, and Gareth Evans is doing his best. I mean, I kind of go on the starting the positives. I mean, it's nicely shot. He's got a good it's. A lot of these are positives, and there's always a negative attached onto these, like camera work wise, cinematography. It's really inventive. Like there's an opening kind of chase sequence, let's say, with it's simply like a couple of fucking police cars chasing a truck. But he opens it with the camera starting behind the police cars, and just the camera races up the side past all the police cars, and then you see the truck, and you're just going, that's fucking cool. That's very inventive. Like that's instead of an establishing shot or whatever, you're just kind of going, it's just something fresh and inventive, and it's fucking cool. But then you'll get some crazy, shaky, weird shit for fucking ages, kind of going, whoa, calm down. And then he'll come up with another cool shot, like in that sequence where they say, oh, we're going to the highway, and the cars pass, and then it just goes silent, and the camera just slowly tracks up behind them to the highway that they're going back up onto, and it follows the thing. And that stuff is very, very cool. But that's like somebody just on the paper, not thinking about the script, but going, I've got a cool idea. for a shot here. I'm just
Yeah.
going like, but that's like, but he's also written it, and it's just like he's writing the action rather than writing the story. You know what I mean?
Plus, that scene is heavily CG'd as well,
Yes,
and
the
it takes
CG
away from it because
streets are
yeah,
ridiculous. Like.
so you're kind of going, okay, well, yeah, okay, it is a cool shot, and even the part where they open the back of the truck and stuff, and the washing machine comes out, all this shit. Some of that
That's
stuff looks cool. The problem is everything around it is just it's not there. It's all and because it's not good CG, it's so noticeable. So I think that takes away from it for me. Like I get it. This guy's a good director. The Raid 2 is up there, one of the best action movies I've ever seen. But I just didn't enjoy this. I didn't enjoy how this was shot at all. Yeah, I just wasn't into it at all. And it's so strange that from a guy who's as good as he is, that this is what we're used to. It just makes me wonder what else was involved or with it. Like, because he's down as being a writer and director, to kind of completely miss the mark, just seems strange to me.
Is it? Yeah. Because initially I thought, is this one of those scenarios where somebody gets far too much creative control, where they can just go fucking out of control and there's no one to kind of go hold back or whatever, or there's no budget limitations to kind of go, okay, because of the Raid and the Raid 2 are just so spectacularly working within their limits, and his beauty of just letting the action, like the camera work is great in the Raid and Raid 2, whatever, but there's nothing too showy about it. The showiness of the camera work is that it's just letting stuff happen on screen and just, capturing perfectly and just panning and whipping around as necessary. But a lot of these action scenes, that's why I'm saying everything that's positive has an immediate negative, because like for some of the good camera work and some of the, like the nightclub scene, and we'll kind of get to that, the showpiece, centerpiece, you get moments where, oh, geez, that's kind of cool. And then it's a cool camera move where somebody falling off a balcony and the camera follows them down. It gets that crunch on the ground and you're going, that's kind of cool. But then it's followed straight away with something that is overly showy, that is completely pointless. And then there's too much blood. It becomes like, oh, here's somebody getting shot 100 times and they just, yeah.
So like, I mean, there's what I thought was weird was, like Zack Snyder, there's tons of slow motion where it's not necessary. Like if you've got one where I get, final battle, it's fucking Hans Gruber falling off the building, it's whatever, it's someone getting shot, that's great. But this is like incidental, no name character that's just there, and his death is real super slow shots in this thing. Then why? We don't even know who this person is. He's nameless. He's probably paid 4 or 5 guys in that movie because he's a stuntman. Like he's pointless, and they're doing those deaths in slow motion that mean nothing and add nothing to the plot at all, or the scene. It's just I don't get that at all.
Yeah, but for me, like I wanted to give this a chance, like 100%. But for me, it's just even the way it starts. It's like it starts with Tom Hardy and a shot of him, the camera revolving around him, or whatever, and his voiceover, and it's just stupid, pointless voiceover. It's just like, sometimes you do things and they go wrong and you pay for them forever or some shit. It's just like, you could actually just take out the voiceover and just leave what you're seeing and just let people figure it out, because you see him and then you see a shot of somebody dying or something, and just let us figure it out, like that he's thinking about this and this happened, and I wonder what that is, and maybe we'll figure it out fucking later or whatever. But straight away I was just like, oh, I hate that. I just hate the storytelling straight away in this. But like, I did enjoy the action sequences, maybe 60% of them, mainly just it reminded me of his better work in the Raid from time to time. From second, there's like a second here, a second there, we're just going, oh, that's kind of cool. But then it's just so ramped up. Like, I think the budget was between 80 and 100 million for this. And he's tried to make something that I still don't know how it costs that much money, but they're obviously scrimping on something, because there's a lot of extra effects to it, where the Raid, when I come back to it, where the Raid being kind of stripped down and like low budget and really maximizing it by just choreography fucking over everything. Where there's so many added elements, where it's the CG blood, or there's so many shots that are, and as you were saying, that are like bad CG, where it's just a background, it's people talking or a car or whatever, and you're just going, that's not a street. Like, they're not on a street. It's very evident they're not on a street, but he'll he kind of adds in this CG kind of lights and light flares around to try and mask that, and it just makes it look like a video game cutscene at times, and it's just like, and then
That's
you
a very
check the
good
budget, and I was like,
description.
oh,
Yeah,
100
that's a
million
very good
budget,
description.
like,
Video game cutscene. That's the vibe.
yeah,
Definitely, it has. Yeah,
it's just too much, and it's just like it's trying to be gritty, but then it's overly kind of colorful and fucking neon lit kind of. I don't know, but there's but like, I mean, it's got Tom Hardy, and I don't know.
yeah,
that
yeah,
guy could act in a fucking white padded room, you know. And
but does he
know,
look? I thought he looked fucking exhausted though. Like he looked absolutely bollocks. I know a lot of it's down to wanting the character to look that way. You know, he's haggard. He's a fucking. He is kind of a bent copper, isn't he? Like but they have him like a worn down looking dude. But as a man, as a bloke, he just looked fucking knackered. But it's I performance wise, I love Timothy Olyphant, so I'm delighted to see him in this. I thought I actually liked the kind of dynamic between them. I would have liked to have seen more about their escapades before.
Should have been the two of them, just the two of them, not anyone else or whatever. Just two of them and the Asian gang.
Yeah, give me some flashbacks about what they were getting into back in the day, a little bit more, you know, than just the scene that we see. I'd like to get a bit more of that. You know, Forrest Whitaker, he's great and all, but you don't get to see enough of him. You know, like because he's not. They want to make him a bigger character. I think in this, he would have been great to have more of him. If you've got him for even a few days, make the most of it. But like everybody else, I didn't notice. But most of the I have to admit, most of the Asian actors I didn't recognize.
Yeah, me neither. But like, yeah, Timothy Olyphant, I love him. Echo that. Wanted more of him in that. Tom Hardy, I mean, like, you see, we've done Venom movies on this fucking channel. Like, he puts his all into fucking everything.
Oh, yeah.
He does suit that gritty, kind of grimy, fucking like his introduction to him. It's just, he's doing his best, but it's full of cliches. Like the writing, I was surprised how. Not poor, like it's not shit, but it's just so like cliched and just like this. Is this like, did you buy the script from 1992 or something? It's just like, what's going on here when we meet Tom Hardy? Like he's in that store and he's getting something for his daughter's birthday, and we get it. Like he didn't think about the daughter's birthday, so he's picking something up in this shitty shop. But I don't know where he gets like a little fucking toy or something or whatever. But he asked the guy, like, can you wrap them? Yeah, but he's like, can you wrap that for me? And it's just like, obviously this shop doesn't wrap things. It's like, this is to add character fucking depth. It just made no fucking sense to me. There's so many moments. And speaking of Forrest Whitaker, like just, there's a moment like, no spoilers, whatever. There's a moment where he's sitting in a limo or something with an Asian boss, and his suit is covered in blood anyway, but he's going somewhere and he's trying to, he pulls out a tissue to try and clean a bit of his suit. And you're just like, no one would do that. What, like, why are you doing that? Your suit's covered in fucking blood, and you're trying to cover it. Like, you're just trying to clean the lapel. It's just because somebody wrote he sits there stoic, tries to clean his suit or whatever. And it just doesn't translate to the screen because it's cliched nonsense. And so much of this in between the action set pieces is utter nonsense. And the action set pieces kind of, they hit moments, but then some of them go on too long, and some of them are just, they're trying to be John Wick and they just don't know how to do that, which a lot of people don't, because it's not as easy as it seems.
Yeah, I think this is a case of that, keep it simple, stupid. Like that's the way it should have. Just keep smaller plot things, but this has so many interconnecting parts within, Forrest Whitaker and his son being the main, cause of whatever. But then there's the fight in between the Asian gang and the brother and sister, and at the same time you've got him and his kid. You've got the love story between Forrest Whitaker's son and that girl and her friends. Yeah. You've got the whole background story with Timothy Olyphant and all that kind of. There's so many different random little side parts. Like we do not need all this fucking shite. It's really unnecessary bloat to a movie that didn't need it. It's just a shame.
But yeah, I would love to see Gareth Evans like tackle a script that someone else has written for him or written that has, that is clever and deep and all that kind of stuff, but has options for, action fucking madness throughout, where he could kind of focus on that action stuff, but also just just direct someone else's work. Like, it just seems like it's like Final Destination we were doing last week, where it's about these action set pieces, and the things that piece it together are so just haphazard, and you just don't care. And obviously in rewrites, like, you imagine he's tried to make it more convoluted, to make it seem more
interesting, like
cool or interesting, or like, oh, look at these guys, and then these guys, and because when the nightclub scene happens, we get 3 fucking different stories coming together, and it's just like, oh man, like, you don't know how much we don't care about this, and we don't care because it's too much. It's unnecessarily convoluted, and apart from Timothy and Forrest and Tom Hardy, everyone else is struggling with the dialogue, really, really struggling. Like, it's so fucking bad, where those 3 guys they're of that caliber. They can elevate poor dialogue to lofty heights, and it works because they're just fucking talented guys, and it's amazing. Like, you got those 3 guys on it, but when they're conversing with other people, and when they have to, like with Tom Hardy and his fucking, is it sidekick or
she's partnered with him.
It's so fucking lame. Like, they're trying to, like, at one point it's trying to build, character buddy stuff. She's going to be part of the thing, and they have a chat about how he knows that it's automatic gunfire, not a pistol. And it's like, fucking, obviously it's a fucking automatic rifle. It's like fucking 45 people have been like just gunned down. Yeah, it just didn't work, and just falls so flat. But but the music.
Not just music. I think I thought sound design was great as well. The sound design was cracking. Like, I especially said someone falling off and the crunch. Some people getting shot. There's one part where your one has this it's actually probably my favorite fight sequence thing in it. Is in the upstairs part of the nightclub, and she pulls out the bottle of champagne with the bucket, and it just smashed. One guy grabs it, and she flips it around in her hand, catches it, and hits the other guy, because she's an amazing kung fu artist for some reason. Don't know why. Because she's just like, she's like your man's Hispanic girlfriend, but it just turns out she's an expert in fucking martial arts.
Kung fu.
But I love that some of the sound effects for that, the gunfire found really, really heavy, really like you fucking felt it hitting when people were getting hit, when fucking bullets were just hitting the wall. Like, it was really, I would have liked to actually hear that on a real cinema sound system. I said it would have sounded really great. And the music was grand. Music was kind of fucking fast paced fight music. It was fine.
Yeah, no, totally agreed. It was visceral. Yeah, the gunplay especially. But I thought there's just in between kind of scenes as well. There's that kind of not haunting, but that kind of repetitious kind of like bam, 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 bam. Something leading one scene to another, and just kept it just very pacey kind of music. And even when the end credits come on, the music again, I was just like, oh, okay, that's kind of good music. But then as it played over the credits, I was like, oh, that does seem like something really good that you could buy for like $150 fucking dollars on a music stock site. Just like, it's really good, but it's just on a loop.
Actually, what did you think? Because you meant, just to say the movie moving along, what did you think, say, of like the runtime, the pacing? Did you feel the 2 hours, or less than 2 hours? But
no, not really. Like, when it gets towards the end, there's a shootout in a kind of a cabin thing or whatever. That's fucking great, and then it goes on to another scene, which is it's hard to say that that it's going on too long, because it's so frantic and frenetic and mad that, like, you don't mind an extra 10 minutes of it, because your brain's been turned to fucking mush anyway. But it's one scene kind of too many. It's like another reveal, another shootout, or this, it's just another kind of standoff. Where in any other movie, like, when it comes to that final scene, it's resolved. Everything's kind of resolved, but then he finds a way to have a shootout that just fucking murders everybody. And it's like, oh, well, okay, that's because you had an extra $5 million. Yeah, fucking let's go. But it moved, like, pacing wise, it was pretty well edited. I don't know if he edited it himself, but it moves along pretty quick. I didn't think it was too lengthy.
No, so it was, and like I said, I wasn't a massive fan of this movie, but I definitely find that it dragged. I thought it had a good, an hour and 50 minutes or an hour 45 or something. Like, I thought it moved along quite well. it's just like, obviously, again, just not story wise, but the movie moved along to the point where I wasn't like, okay, I can't wait for this shit to end, which can happen with a lot of these movies. But no,
Yeah.
I actually thought it was fine. I didn't feel it before I knew it that we were at the final shootout, so can't really no complaints on that end.
Yeah, I just think the action set pieces. I mean, sometimes they are a bit too much, but they are very well directed. That you don't mind. I could have watched another one at the end of this. I just really enjoyed how he was attacking those scenes in particular. Although there is there is a moment where, like you were talking about slow mo, there's a moment in it's not a spoiler, but in the cabin thing near the end where he shoots somebody coming through a window with a shotgun, and they in slow motion, jump, like do a launch into the fucking air, and while they're launching in the air, he just reloads the shotgun
and shoots him again.
Just like. Is this time dilate? Is this a space time continuum? What's happening here?
Not just that. That dude got two, like maybe he's your man's maybe what, a couple of meters away, and he gets two full shots with this shotgun, right? But then later, like a second or two later, he's on the ground. He has to kill that guy with a third blast of the shotgun. It's like, what the fuck is this guy made of? Like he's already been hit twice. And like that twice with a fucking shotgun, and he's like, "Yeah, fucking one more just to be sure." Your man's
there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people, like a few in particular, who take like one near the end, who gets hit. I swear by about like he must have had about 50 fucking or 60 squibs on his body. It's just like like cartoon shit, and just going. Like, it's like a dance. It's like a little ritual dance. It's like it's bonkers. It's silly. It's probably the best shit film I've seen in a while. So do you want to give it a score before we go into spoilers?
Yeah, I'll go 2.5. I think and that's because I thought that the acting was on point from our main actors. I thought the moved along fine, sound design was good, and a lot of the action was cool. But it's bang on. It's just mediocre for me. I just wasn't. It was for some of these. I would like this to be a lot more fun. Like if it's going to be shit, I want to have a lot more fun watching it. And I just didn't really have a lot of fun with this. It was just, meh.
Yeah. Yeah, I was what I was watching was like, is this a 3-star movie? And then I was like, no, you can't give it a 3-star movie. I would go, probably 2.5 as well. It's probably a 2-star movie, but it's a 2-star movie, and I think a 3-star experience, but it's a pretty average movie. Like 3 stars would be good, and it's not good. It's kind of average, so 2.5, just because Tom Hardy, Forrest Whitaker, and Timothy are in it. That's the only reason. Otherwise, it would be fucking 1.5 or 2. So it's on streaming, so catch it while you can. It's an easy watch. Let's get into spoilers, which will be pretty quick.
Yeah,
talk about all the blood.
Well, can I jump straight to the very end? Right,
absolutely.
So at the
my notes as well.
At the very end, there's the big firefight. All right, so. Again, everybody shows up at the same time. Fucking Tom Hardy is there, and he's trying to save the guy and the girl. The Asian girl shows up, and she brings Forrest Whitaker with her because she's convinced Forrest Whitaker's son killed her son, and so she wants it's a whole fucking convoluted nonsense. But her brother, the guy who hates her, at one point he is alone with that bag of whatever it is, money and drugs and shit. He has a chance to just go. And just run. Like he's right beside, there's cars there, and then there's like the woods or the train ride, whatever, just there. He could run around, but instead, he has the stuff and he's handcuffed still. He picks up an AK-47 and turns around and starts shooting at Timothy Oliphant. And he does hit him, a couple of times. And then Timothy Oliphant just turns around, his gun, and he shoots him and kills the Asian dude. Like, you had a chance while everybody was distracted to get away with the goods while they all just killed each other. And instead, you fucking stayed there like a moron and started a fight with Timothy Oliphant. He wouldn't have even seen you. You would have just ran off. Yeah. Fucking moron.
So, like everyone in this movie don't know it, but they've been programmed in their brain to have a shootout.
Yeah.
It's just like I could do that. No, I think I should launch into a shootout. I think I should start an actual 3-way massacre here. It's fucking nonsense. But like, Did he die in the end? Yeah, is that what they're implying?
Timothy Oliphant.
Oh no, Tom Hardy. Yeah.
I don't
It's not
know. I think it's a little
because
ambiguous. Like it's kind of like because she's like they
it's
ask
such
when
a
they're in the
weird
van. They're like
thing. Yeah,
they say something along the lines of "Is he going to be okay?" or whatever. Because when he's talking to her, he's saying you should probably turn me in.
yeah,
So I'm
and and because like him and Timothy, like he kills him or whatever, but and he takes a shot, but you don't really see where. But he kind of just sits back down, and his partner, sidekick, whatever, she's like, "Do you want me to deliver deliver your daughter your fucking shit little present?" And he's like, "Actually, no, I wouldn't want to ruin her Christmas." And then the camera just continues to just track into his eyes as he doesn't blink and just kind of going, and he's not moving, just like, did he die
I
from that?
don't know.
Because that's like
I
such
think
a
they leave it open to you.
nondescript. Yeah,
I think they leave it open to you, like because it's he, he as I said he says to her you should arrest me or whatever, and she's not going to because all of a sudden she's decided to become a bad cop because she lets the other two go as well. Um,
yeah,
so but he says something along the lines of I don't know the police cars are coming in or whatever else, and
mm.
I don't. They kind of hint towards. I think you could leave it either way. Like he says, "Would you, go and arrest him?" And she says no. And then you can see the cars are coming in the background. But I don't think he doesn't actually die that we see. I think they leave it open to you to
No,
kind of
okay,
decide.
yeah, it's a bit shit. But for me, it's just fucking cliches in this movie, just nonsense. It's just nothing works. Like I think the movie starts to work a bit more as it goes on in terms of the actual scenes in between the action set pieces. Because when it starts and you have like Forrest Whitaker, and you're like, yeah, Forrest Whitaker, Tom Hardy, and you just have the scene play out where it's just like, oh, I've done something wrong or whatever, and Forrest Whitaker's like, I've got you by the balls because you did something in what I own you, and say he's like, this is my town. It's just like one call and your buddies would go down for life, and you're going, fucking really? Like, is this it? Is this our fucking story? Just like, but I helped you blackmail. Okay, one more job, and then I'm done running around for you. And it's like, fucking hell. It's just so tried and tested. And I know stories regurgitated over and over again, but it's just the dialogue. It's just like, it's just get someone else to do it, man. It's like,
And
it doesn't.
to be clear, he is a bad guy. Like we go throughout the rest of the show, and he does the right thing for most of it. He wants to save your one, the partner. He's trying to save the kid, and like he's helping basically the good guys the whole time. He tries to save the cop's life. He's doing all this stuff, but like
responsible for murdering
from
somebody,
the very,
like, killing somebody.
Yeah, from the very start, like we see that thing, like they were him and his mate Timothy Oliphant and the other two cops who were just shockingly bad actors. That they were terrible. Well, maybe not, maybe that's a bit mean. Maybe it's just shockingly bad dialogue like everybody else got. But the their I would love to see more of their background kind of thing, because they talk about how they've all done jobs for this crooked kind of mayor, but also like they've taken drugs. His missus that he's estranged from that has his kid says we don't want your dirty money. Like, so he's a dirty cop. So it's difficult to kind of get on his side. Like, I hope he's dead in the end, to be honest. And like he's not really a good guy that they try to make him out to be throughout the rest of the movie. It's just there's a bit of a contrast there.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's just I just found so much of it when it's trying to be melodramatic, it doesn't work. When it's cliched, it really doesn't work. There's moments like this when that guy, that brother of the big bad, she's listed as like a mother, but the fucking subtitle was like big sister. So I was just really confused.
No, the guy who gets killed near the start when they go into the club. And they kill that guy, that Asian dude who's talking to Forrest Whitaker's kid and his missus. That guy, that Asian dude who gets riddled to bits, that's her son. So they're referring to her. So that's why she's the mother. She's the mother of him. But the Asian dude who's like the other boss kind of guy, who that's his sister. So they're brother and sister. That's
so her big sister.
Basically, he's pissed off because her son, his nephew, basically has been bossing him around. So he was happy enough for him to get killed.
But he's such a shit. Like there's the moment when that guy goes to the hospital. And there's so many like brutal fucking like it's over the top, but it's just
that's unnecessary.
In the hospital, but I don't know why he does it.
But here's my issue. Sorry, Daz, I just undercut you because there's two massive issues. The first one is right. he has been getting henchmen to do shit for him left, right, and center of the movie. He has guys
That's
with
my
him.
whole thing.
Yet he
Why is
goes
he
to the
there?
hospital to do it, and he goes with a fucking not walking into a room with one silencer bomb. He goes in, kills the security guard, kills your man. Like he's using full on automatic fire thing, not a fucking injection. He goes in, kills them. But this, it's so unnecessary to kill his missus. Like his wife comes in, she's the grieving woman who's been sitting by your man's bedside. It's all so sad, blah blah blah. He just throws her towards our female cop, the fucking I forget her name, the
And
sidekick,
just fucking murders
and then
her.
just fucking blows little holes in her back. It's so unnecessary. Like it's
and it's the deaths everyone gets. Everyone gets 19 shots in the back. It's not just a bang. It's a brrr. It's like, oh fucking hell. But it's the problem is like that sequence. Yeah, my main note is like, why are you here? Do you not have someone that can just do this?
because you're really bad at it.
Yeah, and then it's more convoluted because like, oh, he's the guy for this guy, and it's just like it's already kind of like a bit ridiculous. But it's the fact that like he kills the guy in the hospital, and then spots his wife, and you get that moment like, oh no, and then he takes the wife hostage because Tom Hardy's buddy comes in, which and he has the wife hostage, and the buddy cop, fucking sidekick, she actually says, freeze. I said freeze. Just like, is it has AI fucking made the script from 1990 or from 1987 or something? It's just like, oh, freeze. I said freeze. And you go, what are you talking about? You just murdered somebody.
I even think he calls her copper. Like he kind of throws the yeah, you want her, you can take her, copper, and he throws it towards it. Like it's like, I'm not sure an Asian dude to be saying that. Like, and then just fucking sprints off down the stairs luckily with his black bag full of ammo for this fucking gun that he must have hidden somewhere because it's just spraying bullets the whole time. It's like a fucking sprinkler. It's unreal.
Yeah, but it's just it's mainly characters in this movie. They just don't act like characters would, even in a poorly written movie like this. They don't act like regular people, and they certainly don't act like people who have experienced things in a previous scene. It's very fucking very bizarre. But yeah, like the shootout in the cabin, I really enjoyed the absolute fucking madness of that. Like I would love to have seen this in the cinema. I probably it would get a worse score if I saw it in the cinema because it'd be annoyed that you're more favorable when you're just sitting on a couch watching stuff like this because it's just like whatever, it's for free. Even if you had to pay fucking €5, you'd be like, it's just wasting my fucking time. But I would have loved it for the sound design and the absolute madness, like of the nightclub scene and every scene. But the cabin, it's just because when you have sound design with wood and shotguns, is just fucking amazing. It's just like I don't know how the cabin's still standing, but it's just like shotgun wood, crushing. Fuck, it's just, and it's mad, and it just keeps going. And even from a production point of view, you're just looking and you're kind of going, like, how have you done this? Like, how are you tackling this? Just like day one. Okay,
what is holding this building up?
Yeah, and what's happening? How is this happening? Like, how is there so much ammo? And
that fight actually in that place with the badass, the light-haired assassin chick, whatever. I'm not even sure she has any lines in the movie, but she's like their fight and her death is actually pretty cool because she kicks
with Tom Hardy,
she kicks the shit out of Tom Hardy.
It's the best thing that he's the only person in Tom Hardy's the only person that doesn't seem to know kung fu, and it's to the movies,
he does a bit, to be fair, man. He's
a little bit. No, he's good hand to hand. Oh yeah, but not in this scene. Like, it's nothing better than when you get somebody who's just a kind of a street brawl or whatever up against somebody who's a kung fu expert, and just that beatdown. It's always pleasant because they're trying to and they're just getting their snot smashed into the floor, and it's fantastic. But then, of course, she does the silly thing. It doesn't checks up on him or whatever, and like a harpoon through the face. It's pretty fucking good, man.
Straight
and
through
slides down the line.
Into a pole behind her. Yeah, that was pretty dope.
Yeah, it's just like that's there's a few, a lot of those moments got an extra half star for me. But but apart from that, I'd say it's a lot worse than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Like he is a really good director and a very good action director, but I don't think he can get a grip on story elements of it. It's just it's too much. You can see what he's trying to do, and you can see kind of going, there's a great movie in here somewhere. If it wasn't made in 1987.
Yeah, it's hammy as fuck. We'll leave it there then, will we?
Yeah, absolutely. So 2.5 stars. Check it out and streaming.
Nice one for taking a shoot at Daz. Yeah, just have a gander, check it out for yourself. It's a brisk movie, and everybody has Netflix. Steal somebody else's, whatever. So look, yeah, thanks a million for listening and watching. And we do have a good run, I think, of movies coming up with the next few weeks. We've got Mission Impossible. I know Ballerina is coming out soon as well.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a bunch of stuff coming up in the next few weeks. So hopefully we'll be back on track with some more good movies. But yeah, thanks as always for listening and subscribing and sharing. Keep doing that, please. Send all your comments into Daz to read. Great. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. So take it easy.
Ciao.